morning. Welcome. I'm Chief Michael Moore with the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm joined today by our LA County Superior Court presiding judge, Samantha Jessner. I'm also joined by our Sheriff Robert Luna, as well as Councilmember Park. Today we're here to discuss the Firearms Relinquishing grant that the department is a recipient of, as well as the Sheriff's Department in coordination and support of the LA Superior Court. Domestic violence, acts of violence involving families, we know cost lives each and every day across America. Today's grant is going to add yet another tool in our toolbox to help counter the loss of life. Last year, 17 individuals were killed in regards to homicides that were domestic violence related. 9 of those involved a firearm. What we know is that domestic violence abusers are 5 times more likely to kill their intimate partner, when they have access to a firearm. Across Los Angeles, this grant is going to provide our detective personnel, upon being notified of an individual who potentially is in violation of a firearms relinquished order, allow them to go out and conduct added investigative work to ensure that those weapons are seized and that the individual no longer has access to them. I want to thank, again, our Judicial Council of the State of California. I want to thank Judge Jessner, as well as the Superior Court Executive Officer Dave Slayton, for the work in partnering with us. And with that, I'm now going to introduce the Sheriff of LA County, Sheriff Robert Luna.
Thank you, Chief Moore, and thank you all for coming in to cover this very, very important issue. Chief Moore kind of laid out a lot of the background on why this is so important. And we also appreciate the partnership we have with many organizations, both in government and non-governmental agencies that assist us in this, including the court. On January 20th of 2023, Los Angeles was approved for funding under the Gun Violence Reduction Grant Program. This grant will allocate $1.6 million to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. This grant funding will assist us in developing a portal to assist with electronic notifications to law enforcement agencies when there is a violation of firearm relinquishment orders. This funding will allow the expansion of the Armed Prohibited Persons System, which we use on a daily basis, which is a unit within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Major Crimes Unit. This unit was established and works closely with the California Department of Justice to reduce the amount of people on the prohibited list. And again, we're specifically talking about prohibitive possessors with firearms. Currently, there are over 4,000 people in Los Angeles County who have been deemed prohibited from owning firearms and ammunition. This grant will allow our team to expand its efforts to confiscate firearms from people prohibited by our courts from possessing firearms and ammunition. Enabling this team to increase enforcement efforts will remove more illegally possessed weapons and make communities a lot safer. This grant will provide much needed funding for the training and education of our personnel, specifically those that are tasked with this job. When the courts make notification to our Major Crimes Bureau, Armed Prohibited Persons System, that is, a restricted person failed to relinquish his or her firearm, an investigation will be conducted to determine if that individual is likely to still have a firearm in their possession. If so, an attempt will be done to gain voluntarily compliance. If an individual is non-compliant, a search warrant will be sought and a search warrant of their residence will be conducted. If firearms or ammunition are discovered, the individual will be arrested for possession of firearms in violation of a restraining order, violation of a court order, contempt of court, and any other appropriate charge. These cases will then be presented to the appropriate prosecuting agency with, for us, it's either the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. The court and the departments will provide statistics to measure the effectiveness of this program under this grant. And again, we're very grateful for the monies used in this. Guns are a significant challenge And for us, access to guns, this program, this grant will really impact those. I am now honored to introduce Judge Samantha Jessner she's a presiding court judge for Los Angeles County. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Samantha Jessner, and I am the presiding judge of the Superior Court of Los Angeles County. I want to start today with a thank you. Thank you to our law enforcement partners at the Los Angeles Police Department and the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and more specifically, the leadership of Chief Moore and Sheriff Luna, and for their ongoing partnership and collaboration in securing what will, I'm sure, be a game-changing grant from the Judicial Council of California. As a result of this unprecedented collaboration, the court, along with the LAPD and the Sheriff's Department, have now secured funding to address gun violence in our communities head-on. I know Chief Moore and Sheriff Luna just described what the LAPD and the Sheriff's Department plan to do with this grant funding, but let me take a minute to describe the court's role in this project. Using the grant funding awarded by the Judicial Council, the court is now building a portal to better coordinate communication among the court and these law enforcement agencies to ensure that when a person has been ordered by the court in a domestic violence restraining order case to relinquish firearms, firearm parts, and ammunition, and they fail to do so, that violation will be timely and efficiently communicated to law enforcement. Why is this important? As the largest county by population in the nation, Los Angeles County has more than 80 law enforcement agencies within its jurisdiction. Currently, court staff are tasked with ensuring that notifications are timely sent to the appropriate law enforcement agency when a judge determines that a court order to relinquish firearms, firearm parts, or ammunition pursuant to a domestic violence restraining order has been violated. Notifications are also made when a judicial officer determines a violation in gun violence, school violence, workplace violence, civil harassment, elder and dependent abuse cases, as well as cases within the juvenile court. Right now, the court, in terms of keeping track of these violations, finding those violations and reporting those violations is done manually. Not surprisingly, given the size and complexity of our county's criminal justice system, this can be a challenging task. As a result of the collaboration among those you see to my left and my right today, the court, with the help of the two largest law enforcement agencies in Los Angeles, is working to build an automated portal that, once launched in January 2025, will be able to send automatic notifications to the appropriate law enforcement agency in real time. This means that when a judge determines that a court order to relinquish firearms has been violated, the court will inform the LAPD and the Sheriff's Department through an automated notification system with real-time data. In addition, this portal will enable the LAPD and the Sheriff's Department to enter data regarding enforcement of violations during the pilot program so that the court can track and report statistics to measure project outcomes. This automated process will also send notifications to the following agencies: the Los Angeles County Probation Department, the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation for individuals on parole, and to the Department of Justice when proof of firearm relinquishment forms are filed ensuring all our appropriate justice partners receive the information they need. Again, given the size of Los Angeles County, we plan to work closely with the LAPD and the Sheriff's Department to build and test this portal and gather feedback. We also plan to connect this portal to our existing case management system to better integrate the court's data. This will be especially useful to both agencies. As noted previously, the grant will provide funding for LAPD and the Sheriff's Department to create a task force to investigate firearm relinquishment violations, to provide more resources for enforcement and investigation. The court also plans to collaborate closely with the District Attorney's Office, the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office, and others to ensure that we eventually develop a robust countywide system that is capable of communicating with all of our law enforcement agency partners when our pilot program concludes on June 30th next year. We expect to integrate all remaining law enforcement agencies in Los Angeles County into the new portal after the conclusion of the pilot. To conclude, the new portal will automate what was previously a manual task at the court to ensure that court orders regarding firearm relinquishment are communicated to law enforcement quickly and efficiently. This process will be faster and will more effectively serve the residents of Los Angeles County and all of our law enforcement partners. Government works best when we work together on behalf of the citizens we serve, and this partnership is a perfect example of how various branches of government can come together to get things done for the communities we serve. On behalf of the Superior Court of Los Angeles County, I would once again like to thank Chief Moore, Sheriff Luna, and the Judicial Council for making this project possible as we work to ensure our communities are safe for the residents of Los Angeles County. Thank you. And I want to turn it over to Councilmember Park.
Thank you. Good morning. I want to begin by thanking Judge Jessner and Chief Moore and Sheriff Luna for being here today and the work that they do every day to curb gun violence in the city and the county of Los Angeles. Eliminating gun violence in our community is something that is deeply personal to me. I have the unfortunate distinction of sharing a birthday with the anniversary of the Sandy Hook massacre. And I remember thinking on that day in December 2012, finally, people in charge will step up and do something about this madness. And yet, 14 years later, gun violence continues to rise as we witness tragedy after tragedy unfold in homes, in workplaces, in schools, neighborhoods, and public spaces all over Los Angeles. Here in our city and beyond, we also face a uniquely lethal intimate partner violence crisis. Domestic violence is not only the leading cause of homelessness among women, including women with children, but abusers with firearms are 5 times more likely to kill female victims, and guns are often used in violent relationships to exert abuse, power, and control over victims. When a judge orders a domestic abuser to give up his guns, our law enforcement partners need the tools and the resources necessary to enforce those relinquishment orders. Any delay in doing so puts domestic violence victims' lives at risk. That's why I was proud to lead the City Council's support of LAPD's response to domestic violence incidents and the new restraining order enforcement procedures. It's also why I led our council in supporting AB 28, which has since become law, which taxes firearms and ammunition to allocate more money to gun violence prevention and to victim resources. Today's grant ensures our public safety partners have the resources and the tools that they need to curb gun violence and keep our communities safe. Thank you so much.